We're gonna talk about the counter this time. Counter. This is gonna be our last topic here. Counter. The two types of counter. One is CTU. That's called a counter up, and another one is CTD, counter down. So this one is up counter. This one is down counter. And now be careful, this book, chapter 8, the book has some information that is inaccurate, especially about the CTD, the down counter. Some information is not right. Okay, so we're going to take a look for the CTU first. Let's say if we have a sensor or a switch, somehow like that. A sensor that could be like photo sensor or something like that, and gave a signal. This sensor gave a signal to this counter, turn on the counter CTU. Just like a timer, you're gonna give the counter a name. Now the book use SLC 500, that type of PLC. But you can, in the newer RS Logix 5000, you can use any name. You don't have to start with a C. The book says, oh, you can use a C50, something like that, the name. But this name can be anything. This name can be anything. So that's the name that you give. And then you have a CU here. Then you have a DN here. The CU is connected to this run here, And then you have a preset. Let's say if it's 5, and then you have a accumulated, and it's 0 here. Okay, you got to give the 0. You got to give 5 here. All right. Now let's say if take a look at this counter here. This counter, this CTU, let's say we use the book's terminology, C50. This counter C50, again, it has many addresses that you can refer to. The three that is most important. One is this we call the CTU, CU here, or in this case is if you use this name C50, then it's going to be C50 CU. This is similar to the timer, the timer EN here. As long as the switch is on, this CU will be on. Okay, this one is on, CU will be on here. CU will be on. And then we have another one is a C50 or CTU DN or C50 DN if you use this name here, DN. This one is true or 1 when accum is more than preset, equal or more than preset. If it's false when the accum is less than that. So that's a DN over there. That's a second. We're going to talk a little bit more about this accum here, just a second. And then there's another one. This one we don't use very often. It's called OV. This overflow. Especially those older version of PLC, the preset has a number that you cannot, or this preset, you cannot go over. So let's say 32,000. You cannot go over that. So the preset has to be less than this number here in older version of PLC. Newer version, the number can be very, very big. Newer version, so that's why we don't use this very often. When the accum goes beyond this value, then overflow, the OV becomes true. Okay, so this is that's a truth chart of those three variables. The book uses bits, 3 bits. Okay, those 3 bits. Now let's take a look at accum here. We know the CU, when the switch is on, CU is on. And when the switch turned off and on once, from off to 1, accum increase 1. So switch, the sensor switch goes from off to on, and accum will add 1 to this number here. Accum will add 1 to this number here. Okay, so now you turn off again and turn on again, it will add another 1. Now this value here, so you will add, and this accum value will stay there, even you turn the PLC power off, the accum value will stay there. Then how do you reset the accum? You have to use, let's say if I counted 5 times, then I have a light come on, and thus you can use this. You can use C50DN, and then you turn a light on. Okay. Now, if you need to reset the accum, you have to use if you have another switch or another condition, let's say a switch or a condition, switch 2, or a condition, for example, a timer or something like that, condition, and then you can reset. There's a C5 column 0 here. The reset, this counter is not a reset anything else, but this accum, reset accum to 0. Okay, so even the accum goes to, even the power turns off, the accum value will stay there unless you reset it. Alright, so this is counter here, which is relatively simple, the counter here. Now there's another one, it's called a CTD. CTD. Now the CTD, just like, let's say if you have a switch, just like a CTU, let's say CTD, counter C51, how about that? And a preset. Now this time, accum CD DN. Be careful here. The book is CU. That is wrong here. The book is right CU. It should be CD. Okay. Now if you, let's say if you set, you can enter the value for accum. If you say, okay, my preset is 5, and this accum is 10, then every time you turn the switch from off to on, accum will minus 1. So CTD is applied to this situation like you have a warehouse, you ship out something, then your inventory is going to go down, so you take 1 off, you take how many off or whatever. So this one accum, you got to initially set a bigger number, then preset. And then when the accum less than preset, your CTD DN will become true. Alright? Now our assignment, we are using CTU here, will be on page 181 assignment. It's page 181, number 8. Page 181, number 8. Okay, which I think is relatively simpler than page 181, number 8. Page 181, number 8. And make it due Wednesday next week. Wednesday next week. Relatively simpler compared to timer. Timer, sometimes the logic is really kind of mind-boggling and lets you to really think about it. CTD, the CTD is relatively straightforward. Okay, thank you guys.